home. They played the fewest home games in the NBA. Just 12 of the first 32 here at the Garden. Karl-Anthony Towns, a quick score. Jalen Brunson and the Julius Randle and their style of play. It'll be interesting to watch how that manifests itself. Rotations now that Emmanuel Quickly, who's a spark offensively off the bench, is gone. Who will be that spark with the bench? Maybe stagger some of the starters a little differently. Nickeil Alexander-Walker with the ball. Part of the T-Wolves bench. Towns jab step. Well, he is for a big man.
That message that we're not going anywhere and get them to wave the white flag at some point.
Towns goes inside. T-Wolves trying to chip away here. McLaughlin, nice crossover to get rid of Grimes. Back to Towns. And Towns just kind of throws it. Towns drives on Hartenstein. Leans in, stops, jump hook, tough shot. Get the shots that we watch go down night after night, just not falling for Jalen Brunson. Towns steps back and hits the three-point. 33 for Randle, under 2 to play. Conley to Towns. Towns spins inside. Layup corner. McDaniels can't hit. Towns deflects it. And saved by Conley. Back to Towns, who puts up a three. It's good.
Issue for the Timberwolves. Finding ways to slow down Zion Williamson. They're going to be okay for the moment as Williamson is on the bench. Towns clogged up, which is leading to some of the turnovers. See the strip by McCollum. Towns, pull up. Yeah. Towns, sizing up Daniels. Turns inside. Strong move. Strong buck. Pelicans are the best second quarter team in the NBA in terms of point differential. Towns, wild shot. Towns through traffic.
Turnovers 2 in the game, so points off turnovers rack up as well. That Knicks team is a tough team too, so Wolves have been through a tough stretch.
Here's Towns, no good. And
down. In fact, he's not turned it over this year, as in this entire month so far.
Team matchup, Jason Tate, Anthony Edwards.
And Towns is a fantastic shooter. Barry's can't take pictures.
I just want everybody to know that now Craig is going to make us take a field trip.
We are going to take a field trip. Well, why wouldn't we take a field trip?
You've seen it time and time again.
Towns all with an impossible to get this victory for you here tonight.
Yeah, it's going to get better soon, man.
Towns down low.
Good to see he and Kyle Anderson getting along. They had that little spat last year.
And then Towns rips it down, gets it to over 3 assists per game over the last 7 seasons. He's absolutely a playmaker. Towns, the ball fake to drive. This time he does not miss.
There's no thing on his mind, and goodness, just took out some frustration on the rim.
Towns just
that you get up under him and knock down a nice little baseline shot.
For 3, Karl-Anthony.
It's a good matchup for Luka to attack.
2 for 6 on the floor now in the game. Towns.
19th, 20th. They're not a great offensive team. They have great offensive players.
He is not limited to standstill jump shots or crashing the offensive glass for highlight. Attack. Towns 13, Edwards 12 to lead Minnesota. Towns. Yeah. You say good defense, better offense?
Defense, yeah. Not a lot you can do in that situation.
Towns for 3, and it's a 3-point game. 98-95 Dallas with 50% through the first 3 quarters. A miss by Jones. Towns for the lead. Seriously. 101-100 Minnesota. Rebound and then a quick outlet. McDaniels in the open court. To a trailing Towns.
Rudy Gobert matched up with Batanza. Edwards. Karl-Anthony Towns from the corner knocks it down.
Defense is too good. The same can be said about this Wolves team.
That last opportunity by Paolo to get out and run it was a landmark. Sure it was.
Downs with the head fake and the drive down the lane and an easy again. The length of Minnesota at the rim is a factor. Downs from up top. That's where he likes to take that three-point. Minnesota has turned it over 7 times.
This group on the floor has done a nice job being active with their hands.
Tough shot by Towns. He knocks it in. Of course, Caleb in his 2nd year in the NBA and his 5-game stretch from last year to this year. Towns getting it very easy.
Time that you get a suggestion from a fan that you use from the last year. Chuck doesn't like that.
Oh my, how about that? Chris Finch said before the game he was going to get a lot of attention, which he's getting every game. Towns for 3 again.
Big night for Karl-Anthony.
He gets the screen from Towns. Towns drives on Paolo. Well, you got that.
Oh, thank you. So,
It's not tonight, but
well,
so far.
since the new year.
Towns banks it up and in. 2.
Passed in. Rebound. Traffic Reed does not get the foul.
And increase our crash rate.
One-point lead a moment ago was the first minute of the game. But Timberwolves strong move to the hoop at 2. Penalty comes. Busted. Reed again. Kicks it this time. Anthony Towns.
Rebounded right on cue. Matches. 3-0 Wolves. Conley over to Towns. Good look at a 3-ball is good.
Indiana, and then the other night to the Thunder by 62.
Towns to Conley.
Gives Anthony Edwards a little window to get that shot off.
Towns wisely dealing with knee tendonitis. Towns down the lane, easy lay-in.
Also really good in Orlando with those 3. They've been dominated this game tonight.
Towns for 3. Money. Going through some early growing pains in Portland.
It's never easy when you play for a team that's
Towns! The hammer! 9 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, but the plus-minus says it all. Plus 40 on a 9-point night.
Not a winning play.
That calf bothering him, so Wolves will have a size advantage in this game. Should have a big rebounding edge. Towns got a 3. Edwards. And now it's Towns firing. Swish.
Leonard, Ivica Zubac, Paul George, Terrence Mann, and Amir Coffey were all still part of the team. Minnesota only has 3 players from that team.
Towns got the...
They got into it at 9:20 mark of the 3rd.
Towns floating it up and in.
Chris Finch has really shortened Minnesota's bench in this game. Wow.
Towns! Earthquake! Here's Towns. Driving on Westbrook through the defense. Puts it up and in. Big
The most.
Towns double teamed. Nearly lost it. Kisses it off window.
8-game run. How about 18 for 18 from the floor, 42 points and 30 rebounds. As Joe Abrams said, our numbers got.
This is setting some good screens because he came off naked.
Karl-Anthony Towns and Timberwolves with the ball. They're up 2, 5:35 to play in the first. Karl-Anthony Towns with a pump fake and now a triple try. It's through for 3.
This early in the game.
On 17 hoops.
That's a great halftime figure if you can get that.
Towns launches and
and his teammates' willingness to find him. I like what I'm seeing from Rashard Thompson these last couple of outings.
Kyle Anderson in. Kyle Anderson drops it to Towns in the lane. Towns to the basket. House for Killian, so get him out of there for now.
The versatility defensively of Rashard Thompson can guard front line and backcourt players.
Pass to Edwards. Back to Conley, top side of Towns. Karl-Anthony Towns. Guns on the run. Anderson gives back to the big man. Clock at 5. He's got Alec Burks on him. Kevin Knox has Edwards now. Clock at 6. Karl-Anthony Towns for 3.
They're 29th in scoring in the league, the Grizzlies are. And here they are on the road against the #1 team in the West. Towns with a 3 and a beautiful thief. G.G. Jackson triple, way off on that shot. Anderson the rebound. Karl-Anthony Towns at the other end. As they began the game, start the second half. It's Towns. Karl-Anthony takes it in, driving. Karl-Anthony Towns. Tillman is on him. Shot clock at 5. The drive.
That's twice.
And he's got to be getting his answer when he sees plays like that. Towns 3.
J-Dub, he is a formidable wing athlete, being able to guard anybody on the floor.
Towns posted by Jalen Williams. Snapped a 13-0 Minnesota run. Towns going at Kenrich Williams. The discard and the hoop. Corliss and Jaden McDaniel should have a stare-off. Edwards. Towns in the corner. First three. Alexander Walker stops. Oh, good pass. Towns. The reverse slam. Look at it.
Okay, Jaden.
Picked it out tonight. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. Towns.
Half his shots come from outside the arc, so Karl-Anthony Towns showing you some diversity here.
Yeah.
With the left game, 36% three-point shooter.
Scoops it up and scores. They have no Nick Richards, who has an ankle sprain. No Mark Williams, lower back injury. Towns, money. So small ball, tallest player on the floor for Charlotte is Brandon Miller at 6'9". How about Towns?
Hunting him in pick-and-roll situations, putting him into actions, getting him into switching situations as we saw against Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Towns again.
Keeping them young, man. Hey, if hanging around these 20-something makes him play 5 more years, I'm all for it.
Towns is over so far with 3:40 to go in this first quarter. Towns for 3. Money!
To shine right now, Michael. It's been, opportunities have been fewer and fewer for him as the season's worn on.
Towns. Boom! Shakalakils. The thievery. 6 turnovers. Towns, pump fake, fires. Oh, again!
Well, I don't know if it's the night or it's the position.
Towns, 32!
Joel Embiid has 54, by the way, too.
Both teams are 20 for 33, make it 58-51. And the Hornets have to feel good. They're shooting nearly 59% from the floor. Towns, no hesitation. Swing! Towns has the last 10 for Minnesota. Oh, he's firing from the loop.
Share the basketball. Keep moving it. Get guys involved. Don't chase a record.
Case in point, no. Towns. The fight. Only 1 shot attempt. Towns on the attack. Off window for 2. But it's overshadowed by the 48 for Towns. Towns looking for a 50-burger. Towns winning the jump ball. 14 on the clock. Towns hits the 3. Out of players drafted from that 2020 draft. He's behind Sadiq Bey. Here's Towns for 3. Moments ago, it's now down to 9. Towns. Turnaround hook. And here comes Kyle Anderson the other way. Towns to the bucket.
Had their best the entire night.
in transition versus walking it across half court.
Cat comes right back and gets
To individually drive those gaps. They are closing it out.
Laughlin finding Towns. Cat with a step back long. It's up 61-57. Karl-Anthony Towns, tough bucket over
his hands because he knows how detrimental it is if he gets his fourth foul.
Here's Ant on the circuit. Was that second jump was always elite. I don't care who he was playing against, he always
2024, Chris.
That's your New Year's resolution.
One box checked.
Here's Cat working on Kuz.
Work early if you want to be a good offensive rebounder.
You know it's cold and flu season, but do you think it's contagious, the energy that Bagley brings to the team?
Absolute energy is contagious.
Minnesota can hold for the final shot in the third quarter. 5 seconds to go.
Watch the step back. Oh, he's going all the way.
Going for the drive with the left hand. I mean, this is his ability to get on the backboard is just refreshing.
I mean, this is a guy that couldn't get in the game.
6 to go. Edwards drive, kick out. Cat, 3, count it.
At 71% in the third quarter against the Knicks, but then dropped down to 30% shooting. Towns turns, and it's going to be both teams shooting it at 47%. Towns against the Knicks. That's lead by 3. We approach 2 minutes to go, first quarter. Towns, combo guard. He can handle it. McLaughlin can handle it. Towns recognized he had the smaller defender, and he goes 31. Timberwolves can take the lead here. Towns drives in on Claxton, too strong. Minnesota's hammering. Slow-mo, Cutter, Towns. Had a tough time stopping Minnesota in this first half. Towns ball fake. Did what he needs some help. It's Claxton, but a little late.
And that's been the trouble. I really
For Brooklyn. Towns sizing up Finney Smith. Has the physical advantage. And he's got the moves.
possessions as you can against a defense like Minnesota's.
Cam Thomas has 5 turnovers tonight. Off balance it goes. 11 minutes. He's 1 of 5 from the field. Towns is going to line it up and drop it in from long range. Looking for answers here in the fourth tonight. Down on the scoreboard by 7. Towns fakes it. Over a game. Asking Towns. Towns hard drive. No stopping him.
Right into the game will resume. Towns on the drive.
The way he shot it early.
Finally brought down by McDaniels. Towns quickly with a 3.
Yeah, that's how he scored 62 last week.
Brewers have got 16 from Wembanyama. That's about it. 27 to 54. Keeps hanging around. Towns. 150 remaining in the third.
So you guys have to hold their own for the next 2.5 minutes or so.
And they go right to work with Towns inside, and he gives it up to Gobert. And then Wemby heads to the scores table to check in. Towns. Power move against Jeremy Sohan.
That is so talented. And can take contact and still be able to finish.
Like A-Dub defending Towns. Giving that straight post up. Giving up 6 or 7 inches.
Leonard didn't give up the shot to Towns. Towns trying to drive spot. Has such a knack for offensive rebounding. Alexander Walker, no. Towns the offensive rebound. Lowers the shoulder and then flips it. Lucic was behind that defense. Towns, the flat-footed 3. So the offense coming alive in the second half of this third quarter. Towns tough drive, and with Anthony Edwards on the bench. SGA also on the bench.
They had the one game at OKC where they got over 120 points in the game, but for the most part, they've been the best against OKC this year as Towns.
No. That ball is bouncing around. Towns in a crowd. Small toe dislocation, which sounds painful. Towns inside. Towns penetrating in lane. And still out rebounding Minnesota. Towns spinning in the lane. The short hook falls. 6. McDaniels kick out. Towns for 3. Bottom of the last 9 possessions. Towns pull up again. Averages 8 points per game on the season. Towns got a 3. Who has the rebound? Just his 3rd of the ball game. Towns. Another 3. The rebound.
Great box out by Kyle that time and Nas.
Towns, the discard.
A lot of nights.
Towns in attack mode again. Flips it up and through. He has.
Suggs, the former Minnesota Mr. Basketball, Mr. Football. Towns, the drive.
Team from the corners.
Conley slings it over to Towns, drives the lane and flushes it down. Birthday today and almost got clocked in the head with a basketball.
Yeah.
Our guest on Wolves Plus taping yesterday. Karl-Anthony Towns starts the 3rd quarter.
Like guys like me, when you show pictures of like when they had hair, Kevin had a lot of hair, but he's got a great beard right now, which is fantastic. It's time to go run a hill in Houston. That Dr. Tom Williams, legendary trainer, Towns sifting his way to the rim and win.
For the first time since it was 5-4.
Paulo's really been having a whale of a game here. He's got 17.
Towns, a much needed.
The other basket where he just made that shot.
Yep, that's right. When he was with the Jazz.
Short. That's when you know the gasket's getting ready to blow, man.
Towns. Check in. Edwards goes off glass. No. Towns offensive rebound and puts it home.
Green's hand.
Edwards can't get it to drop. Towns battling for the offensive board. Puts it.
And he just does it routinely. It makes it look so easy.
Touch pass to Towns. Oh!
You give him some minutes, he can be very productive in those minutes.
Had a 25 rebound game against Atlanta this year. Here's Towns aggressive and he scores his first 2. In 22 games on Saturday, coming off the right foot injury. He's back in for his 2nd game. Here's Towns, got space, got the 3.
Yeah, and if you're somebody, that's the whole thing when you're a team that's going to win 40, 50 games. You know, your bench has to have an identity.
Almost mismatched. Towns easily scores that one.
Partners half the season, and against good teams in the playoff, you cannot turn it over like that.
Yes.
But as far as talent, they match up with, you got Oklahoma City's going to be you got him, you got Luka is going to be there.
You said Shea. You made a great point about Shea earlier. Here's Towns. That's great. That's his 3rd triple already. Indianapolis on the 18th. Bulls will be back here at home in 16 days against the Celtics. Let's open up their post-All-Star schedule. Another triple. Just lead at 18. And a bad turnover there by
They got numbers.
Edwards lobs. Too easy.
Are you personnel?
He's made 6 threes in the 2nd half, and the Bulls are as close as they've been since trailing by 23. And another. These final minutes. We'll see what the Bulls do tonight against one of the top defensive teams in the league. The 3 goes down for Karl-Anthony Towns. Gobert inside. Towns scores, drives, kicks. Towns, Conley, 5 to shoot. Conley, McDaniels, Towns, it's good.
Lanky defenders. Mike Conley, the former Ohio State product, leading Towns, who's checked.
About to be up about 15 feet away.
It's closer than this. Come back for Towns.
They've lost to the Bulls recently. They lost to Charlotte. They lost to the Spurs. You know, so their team
is coming out. The two superstars are automatically engaging there on the bench.
Oh, foul!
Wow, Towns. 4 minutes left to play here before the half is here. Towns doesn't hesitate.
Not that hard of a lick, except that it's that sore spot. So that magnifies the pain.
Towns again for three.
You know, he won the 3-point.
Qualified for the postseason awards. Cal Anderson pump fake. 3 seconds to shoot for Cat.
Towns, a very, very gifted three-point shooter, as good as there's been at that height. Working him to put it on the floor, picks it up, and puts it in. The Minnesota Timberwolves 2 years ago against the Spurs. Now the Wolves shot 65% in that game, so not a lot of offensive rebounds to be had. Well, it bothered the big boys up front, in particular Karl-Anthony Towns, and they felt that it really frustrated him to have to deal with
Off the cobwebs, get an easy basket down the lane. No action.
nice pass inside by Anderson. Contractually, but for the team in general. He went from being undrafted now to closing lineups on a championship caliber team. Towns, a deep three. It's good.
George thought about getting all the way to the basket, but he couldn't because Gobert was there creeping in the lane.
And Fleck will have the lead as well.
For him off the bounce or any type of movement, Towns will not be able to keep up with him.
Karl-Anthony Towns accelerates, cut off by Henderson. Trailing is Cat. The 1-2 to the cup for the slam. 31 points for Edwards the other night. Grant reaches in and fans that one away, but off the window. It's recovered by McDaniels. Towns. Just 53 games a year.
Extremely unselfish of Anthony. Looked like he had a layup if he wanted.
Sure did.
But the same way Tubani hooked him up with a shot, he wanted to get ISOs quite a bit at times in games where they can get stagnant. But pick and roll is their primary mode of operation. Is put it up there for DA.
Batten defense. Conley short. It rolls outside, controlled by Minnesota. Towns is standstill. Edwards out on top to Towns. Jitterbugs into the paint.
What happens on the screen roll, but if you step up and you guess wrong, he's going to the side of you. They're a good contestant. Has gotten some of the shots around the paint, like that one right there. He's capable of making those.
Couldn't connect with Lillard, and here's Edwards. Edwards raising up in the mid-range, off the mark. Following a recent acquisition by the Bucks. Right now we're going to bring in Mike Conley. And Mike, tell us about the start that you guys have gotten not to so far, especially in the... Cat going to try and walk him down. And put him in the weight room. Right wing kind. Nice little deceleration move by Edwards. Towns missed the tip. Really planted the seeds to the championship the following year. Towns fires. Got it.
Got off the ball, cut back door, moves it one more time, gets a quality look. That's what their offense needs to continue to do.
Towns the handle. Here's Edwards. Cat with a quick pull. Got it. Karl-Anthony Towns.
By the Timberwolves, got to get some stops, got to get some good offensive possessions.
Towns again from deep. Got it. Front. Good defense by Lillard on McDaniels. Towns inside. Caught him.
8-4 advantage for Brooklyn. Towns with the handle. Penetrating inside. Short on a tray. Anderson the rebound. Quickly ahead. Towns scores.
Of attack too, depending upon who's shooting the basketball or using the ball screen.
Towns for three. Bounce.
And you got a team situation. Not that it wasn't a travel, it certainly was.
Towns. Oh, the hammer! Edwards setting up Towns, deep three. Yes! Towns, crossover, step back, got it! No! To Mike Conley. Towns for three, boom! He's been the one guy that's been able. Towns has 24. Backing down, Claxton, lefty, hook rolls to Brooklyn.
They got drilled by the Brooklyn Nets, and you know the Memphis just did not come out and play at all. Hall and Towns finally.
Towns for three.
Good outcomings of all the injuries that they've had is Zaire Williams and G.G. Jackson for sure. As Towns had a hamstring strain, it is not playing this game, not in uniform.
Towns gets the jumper.
Trying to get covered.
Grizzlies as a team, 15 for 16 at the free throw line. Towns right over Minnesota. That against Memphis, McDaniels got back to playing McDaniels defense.
Exactly right.
Towns downhill, getting the lay.
Handoffs, those DHOs, and so you do the same thing with Anthony Edwards.
Towns backing down Barnes, short hook. Can cut it to 6.
Minnesota's cut it to 8 a number of times here, and not being able to get it over the top.
Towns slams.
Golf left-handed, but he puts right-handed. It's a weird thing.
Towns!
Backdoor is always the answer for an aggressive defender, right? I mean, you start getting overplayed.
Towns. No resistance, yes.
No rim protection right there. Towns out there guarding Trey Lyles.
Towns attacking. 28 for Malik Monk.
All the miscellaneous stats. Sacramento's winning.
Towns, long range. Bottom!
George Harden, they've done a great job on that. Three-point defense. This is a very potent three-point shooting team, Michael. You look at up and down their roster, 40% looks, a lot of clean open looks they just missed.
Towns attack. There's so much potential for this Timberwolves offense as the season winds down. Towns. Edwards. Over to Conley. Back to Towns. On the move. Flips up and in.
Up here took them out of number 1.
1 for 5 to start this game. Gobert can't hit. Towns. Active on.
Serve points up on a platter for him.
Towns laying it up at home. Conley 0 for 4 on the game. Outside look. Towns driving. Picking up a technical foul. Towns an opening and got the lay-in. And then it's a double dip in LA. Towns in the lane.
Back to Jabari Walker. Slipped on the way back, but at least got a little contest on.
Towns, another layup. In the paint tonight.
I think the litmus test for Chauncey Billups is not so many wins and losses. It's more about how hard his guys go.
Towns. Backing down Walker. Inside, right hand, hook goes down.